So I did something pretty crazy recently, and I'm excited to share with all of you. Basically, I sold my entire collection for just this one watch. And as you can tell, it is a Rolex. So let me provide some context. If you didn't see my last State of the Collection video, you may have missed the fact that my collection is made up basically entirely of watches that were handed down to me, Casios, and a few luxury watches. Those luxury watches were the Rolex Explorer reference 114270, Cartier Santos Galbay, and Grand Seiko 9F Snowflake reference SPGX 355G. And I was very happy with my collection for a while, until I started to really get in my own head about having so many luxury options. I know in my heart of hearts, I'm someone who wants to wear one watch every single day. Of course, with maybe some slight variation to spice things up, but I was not used to having so many luxury watch options. It was so bad to the point that I would come home midday on a weekend and swap watches. I would go and take my Rolex Explorer and switch it out for my Grand Seiko, and it was just getting a little crazy. I'm not sure what it is, and maybe some of you guys can relate, but for whatever reason, I'm just someone who really wants to have a main watch. Of course, as I said, it's fun to substitute in the occasional fun Casio or vintage watch, but like I said, deep down, I really just want to have one main piece. And that's what really sparked this decision. So it's a little embarrassing that I did this because I know it's probably not the smartest decision I've ever made, but like I said, the heart wants what the heart wants. And so without further ado, I want to go ahead and show off this new watch to all of you. Real quick side note, I hope you guys notice a up in quality. I did purchase a legitimate camera for the channel as opposed to recording everything on my phone. And so hopefully that provides some better content for you guys. I'm excited to continue growing with the camera and upping the quality day by day. So let's just jump right into this. Let's go ahead and pull off the outer box to reveal that beautiful dark green Rolex color. You can see here it has the Rolex logo below it. I'm going to go ahead and remove the outer box from the inner box. Let's see if I can do that. Here we go. And there it is in all of its glory. Let's see what I got. Let's focus it up here. You can already probably tell what it is. Like I said, getting used to the new camera. There it is. The Rolex Explorer reference 124270. And so that might actually seem kind of crazy considering I just had the Rolex reference of 114270, but I'll get into some of those details as to why I made that switch in a little bit. So here is a look at my new Rolex Explorer reference 124270, and this is just a phenomenal watch. I mean, as you can see here, it is just so solid. Solid links, solid end links, easy link extension, just everything you could possibly want. The new 3230 movement from Rolex, or the relatively new 3230 movement from Rolex, which is anti-magnetic, shock resistant, 70 hours power reserve. I mean, we're going to go deeper into the stats when we have the full review, but you know, this is just an awesome watch. The real question is, why did I actually buy this watch considering I just had the older reference, the 114270, which is extremely similar. I mean, they're both 36mm Explorers with pretty much the same proportions. Well, really that comes down to solidity for me. When I had that older reference, I loved it. I loved it so much, and I thought I was going to die in that watch. I mean, you know, I really had a lot of intense feelings about that piece, and the Rolex Explorer itself was always a dream watch of mine, really since the beginning of my watch collecting journey. But the one thing I thought I was missing was that extra solidity piece that I'm talking about here with this watch. You know, it had solid end links, which was nice, but it had sort of that old school style bracelet, which is light and comfortable, but also, again, not very solid feeling. And it was also lacking some modern features like that anti-magnetic movement, like the easy link extension, that on the fly adjustment that is just oh so nice to have. And, you know, I was just missing those things. And as someone who is a big believer in the Gotta watch or the one watch collection, even if I'm not exactly living up to that completely, you know, I really wanted something that I felt confident could survive anything. And that anti-magnetic part, that shock resistant part, just the overall solid feeling of this watch really gave me that comforting, warm feeling inside. The funny thing is, actually about 3 years ago when I was originally deciding to buy a Rolex Explorer, I put myself on a wait list for this exact watch or this exact reference of watch. And I was actually given an allocation, which is even crazier, and did the most taboo thing possible, which is denying the allocation. And the reason for that was I thought to myself, you know what, what's the difference between this newer model and the older model, right? They're both the same looking, same feeling watch, right? And I thought that for a long time. Like I said, I ended up buying the older reference, and it was a great time. But as time went on, and I just started to think more and more about having a main watch define my life, and the watch I want to pass down to my kids, which is sort of an intense thought to have. The more I thought, man, I really want to have just a couple of these different features, like that factory on-the-fly adjustment and all the things I've mentioned, that are just so nice to have. And so that's kind of what led to this decision, taking a step towards that philosophy of having a one-watch collection that feels like it can be in any situation and feels so solid, getting that modern feeling that I never really had in a Rolex, or at least my last one, And so this is a very exciting jump for me, and I'm excited to try to wear this pretty much every single day and have this be sort of my main piece. Of course, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to buy more watches and try out a lot of different pieces and talk about watches on this channel, but this is certainly the watch I know that will define me for many, many years. So that's basically all I have for this video. I really just wanted to show off this newest piece to my collection and talk about how I sold all of those other luxury watches for this one. And I really wanted to get your opinion in the comment section down below. Am I crazy? Am I stupid for basically selling my collection, or at least my luxury collection, for a watch I kind of already had in a lot of ways, with the older Explorer to this new one? Do you guys agree with this philosophy of trying to wear one watch? Is it a little too romantic? Is it not realistic? I don't know. I think there's a lot of different swirling thoughts for me, and I'd love to get your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, I'd really appreciate it if you can give me that comment down below, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. And hopefully you can tell the difference with this new camera. I really want to up the quality of these videos. So I'd love any feedback you have or any advice you have about operating a camera. I've never really had a real camera before. So again, thank you so much, and looking forward to seeing you guys in the next one.